Hey, this is Rick from 602 Rose Show and from the Rose League. Wanted to run you through one of our Patreon perks that'll go out to subscribers for Bachelor season. We're going to do some review shows that both recap what happened in the episode, but then also give you some breakdown and a little different perspective for making your fantasy picks for the next week. One of the big things we'll look at is going to be featured screen time from Bachelor Data on Instagram. They do it the best. They got timely posts and accurate posts and really cool visualization of the data. So shout out to them. Make sure you follow them on Instagram. They're a hell of a follow. But what they're going to show you is how much screen time each person gets every single episode. So from a fantasy standpoint, what we're going to do is show you how that translates into fantasy points, because generally speaking, the more screen time you have, the more fantasy points you have. So looking at BIP for this past year, you'll see that the top 10 for screen time and the top 10 for fantasy points very closely correlated. Obviously, some people, Genevieve, way up here at the top, with way more points than everybody else and way more screen time than anyone else. But what I want to call out is kind of the discrepancy between people, and this is what we'll look at on a week-to-week basis. If you have Genevieve and Kate, and you know that they have the same kind of projected screen time, meaning they both have a date, you can look at the screen time and the points and kind of compare them to each other to see if it's worth it to go with the underdog, or if you just bank the favorite. Now, if you watch BIP, you know that banking the favorite was always the right answer. But being able to compare that screen time and having meaningful analysis for the points, you can kind of differentiate between the people who are just on screen and getting points kind of passively versus people like Genevieve who are on screen and getting points very actively, engaging in drama, both for themselves and with others. So this sort of comparison is what we're going to do on a week-to-week basis on our review episodes. So absolutely consider supporting our Patreon. The 602 Rose Show base show and the app will always be free. But we're trying to provide just a little bit of a deeper dive for people who are either really into Bachelor Nation or really into fantasy. So this is just one aspect of what we're going to provide going forward, starting with the 2023 Bachelor season. So thank you for considering supporting the Patreon, and thank you for your support on 602 Rose Show. And we'll see you when Bachelor starts up.